Okay, I'm showing you this video picture on my phone to show you that it's December 11th, 2013. I'm going to go to the Tools menu on this phone to activate a voice command feature to activate the time and date.
Say a command. December 11th, Wednesday, 11:31 a.m. Say a command.
Okay, and now what I'm going to do is go to the camera feature on this phone. Okay. This video file you're about ready to hear right now is a transferred audio segment from a tape recorder concerning an event that transpired concerning me and an individual and his friend that one of the individuals has harassed me on anywhere between 8 and 11 separate occasions. Is that individual directly connected to GILL times 2? I'm a woman, not a man, HA location. Listen to how they say gang stalk together, then one says gang stalking, then the other one says gang of stalking. I'm going to F you up.
Alright, the following took place on Thanksgiving Day. One of the individuals involved in this event is directly connected to GILL times 2, I'm a woman, not a man, HA location, and this individual has been used on at least anywhere between 8 and 11 separate occasions concerning overt and at times direct harassment. Do you hear these guys say gang stalk together? One says gang stalking in the background, and then the other one says gang of stalking, I'm going to F you up.
Okay, now, why am I playing you that audio file? I'll tell you in a second. This is my tent, showing that it's locked up right here. Okay? I'm a target, victim, and activist concerning the criminal expeditions of what is known as organized stalking, which can also be termed as gang stalking. And as a result of being a target of this crime, the person who's managing this harassment places different dupe dummies along my routes every single day to repeat gang stalking, including at this area. The ones who are doing it at this area are, but not limited to, individuals they set up about 100 feet away, who literally yell gang stalking from a distance. They are also engaging in other behaviors designed to make me feel fearful about where I'm living at. Like yelling things like, why don't you go over there and fuck her up? Yeah. They're literally yelling that shit from a distance. That is designed to make me look paranoid concerning what I'm stating that they're doing. That's right. That's right. This is the area right here that I'm talking about in reference to this specific hiking location that I've been at for 13 months. Now, the audio that you just heard of two individuals threatening me while they're saying gang stalking is one of those individuals connected to a specific GILL times 2, I'm a woman, not a man, HA location. Yes. Yes, you better believe it. Now, as far as these little bums go right now, in reference to the ones they're using here, they're yelling gang stalking at night. In fact, they're about 100 feet away on the other side of that ravine right there. And what they did was, they're not only 100 feet away, but they cleared out a brush and created a ledge so they can get closer to my area to say gang stalking at night. That's right. One of the main methods of gang stalking is to harass you everywhere you go, every single day, all day long, through clever, overt sensitization methods that are designed for you to either see or hear, in order to keep the harassment in the daily conscious forefront of all your daily experiences. Basically, it's done to remind you that you're being targeted by literally getting around me and repeating gang stalking, gang stalk, gang stalker, gang stalking, gang stalk, oh my god, weird, crazy gang stalk, or saying gang stalking and then threatening you, like you just heard. That's right. Another method of theirs is to say gang stalking and then they'll say, why don't you come and steal their stuff? They did that here. They've done that here at this hiking area, as they've had individuals ride their bikes by and say it. and from the little skinked out freaks they're using 200 feet away. Which, on a day a few months ago, I saw a San Diego police officer walk down this hill, go over there, and then all of a sudden I started hearing a bunch of talking. Then the talking stopped, and then he walked back up there, and within a minute I saw a San Diego police officer's car pull out. Now, you can go to Google right now, our YouTube, and type in 2/20/13 learning disabled woman catches another gang stalker admitting sexual harass. That was an individual that admitted to me and a hidden running tape recorder that was recording that a San Diego police officer by the name of Steve put him on a corner to engage in specific physical gestures. Now, physical gestures and repeating words and phrases is how... repeating the physical gestures and the words and phrases is their way to let the targeted individual overtly know that they're being stalked. They're called sensitization methods. And to help you see that the physical gestures have already been caught on audio file in reference to January 28, 2012, 3 teenagers were put on a bus route to engage in these physical gestures, and then they were caught admitting to it. That's right. And when they admitted to it, I had a hidden running tape recorder on me at that time. Now, you can go to YouTube and type in learning disabled woman catches gang stalker admitting sent to harass, read comments, which means look in the description of that YouTube video, because there's another YouTube video in the description of that YouTube video showing me at a bus stop practically 2 months before, on December 5th, 2011, stating that I was putting up with those physical gestures along my routes and at universities. And an additional video was made a month before that one on USD campus stating that I was putting up with these physical gestures by library staff and students. That's right. And then on January 28, 2012, 3 teenagers admitted to me and a hidden running recording tape recorder that they were put on that bus route to engage in these physical gestures. That's right. They get individuals up on that sidewalk to ride their bikes by or jog by, and they'll say gang stalker. They'll repeat it too at times. And then they've said, periodically when they've done that, they've said, gang stalker, why don't you come and steal our stuff? Then at UCSD, they had 2 students walk by me on 2 separate dates walk by me and say, gang stalker, why don't you go and steal our stuff? Now listen to this. I have over 800 separate audio files of individuals getting around me every single day saying gang stalk, gang stalker, gang stalking, gang stalk, gang stalker, gang stalking, gang stalk. Oh my god, weird, crazy, everywhere I go. All you gotta do is go to Google and YouTube and type in learning disabled woman exposes evidence of gang stalking. And make sure when you click on any of those videos that come up that you look in the description of those YouTube videos, because there's going to be other copied and pasted YouTube titles that show it happening at other places, and blogs that hold multiple videos in them of it happening at multiple places for you to see that it's the truth that I am telling you. Now, excuse this hat. This hat's not really my style. I bought it because sometimes when I wake up, my hair is going in a million different directions, so I bought this at Walmart 2 days ago. So it's not exactly my style, but to be honest with you, I like it. But it's not really my style, though. But anyways, that was just a sidebar notation. If I come home on any date and any of my property is stolen, because I have property that is hidden close by, it will be directly connected to this gang stalking expedition designed to provoke me to approach these freaks and say, why did you steal my property? So either them or a third party who's magically in the area at the time this event's unfolding can call the police. This will be done so the police can be called to evict me from this area, or the landlord, that's right, causing me to have to move. And part of the reason why that occurs is to not only potentiate the duress that the targeted individual experiences along all the routes every day, okay, because what they count on is what is known as the last straw that broke the camel's back. Non-stop harassment that the target experiences all day long, and then towards the end of the day when they're coming to their hiking area hoping to have an hour or 2 of peace before they go to bed, they come to their hiking area and discover their tent damaged, stolen, a trespass notice put on it, and or they discover property stolen or damaged. They believe that will be the last straw that broke the camel's back, provoking the target to go over 2 people who have already intentionally associated themselves to this campaign by them yelling gang stalking from a distance. That's right. While they then act like I'm crazy, okay, or drunk, or whatever, and then either they or a third party who's magically in the area hearing it all, including neighbors, okay, will call the police and or landlord. They come out, evict everybody, okay, while I have to move while the property is still stolen. These are the methodologies, schemes, tactics, and maneuvers of gang stalking. Now, as far as me hiking, the reason why I am hiking is because my rent was stolen. That's right. You can go to Google in your first day of research and research the factual realities that gang stalking perpetrators create homelessness as targets. It's all over the internet. In fact, if you're just becoming familiar with this crime today, in your first day of research, you will discover that creating homelessness as a target is achieved by, but not limited to, getting landlords and property owners on board. So, does this property have a landlord or a property owner? And if I'm being gang stalked at this area, and since in part it's organized crime in the system who's perpetrating this criminality, do you honestly think they don't have the resources to find out who paid the taxes for this property, to get that landlord and property owner's name, then to collude with them possibly, to have them come here and say, well, we were here to water our plants, to check the property, we noticed her stuff here, therefore we put a trespass notice on her tent. One of the main methods of gang stalking is to also tie the target up in the busyness of moving, because that deflects them physically from the target staying mentally attentive and physically attentive to them preparing to go to lawyers. Now, if I got undisputable evidence, in which I do, you would not believe the evidence I got. And they know I got it because they were stupid enough to give it to me. That's right. Identical harassment happening in multiple places, in places that are over 167 miles apart. That's right. That's right. Identical harassment that's been caught on audio and video. Identical. Now, if you take that evidence, which is huge in its amount and undisputable in its physical integrity, and then you try to tell the San Diego police that this crime's happening to you and that you got the evidence, and then they call you crazy, even threaten you with a psychologist, that is not only intimidation, but it's also gross negligence of duty. So they believe that, well, what asset do they got for them? To create an event concerning where the target's hiking out at, bring the event about, which causes the target to be either arrested, a ticket, or at least causes the target to have to move. And if they're afraid to bring that event about, since they know the target's got a video camera, which they do, cyber surveillance is a method of gang stalking, and I've uploaded many, many videos to the internet. So they know I got a video camera, they also know I got a tape recorder. So what would be another thing that they could possibly utilize against the target? Motivating them to move, without them being physically, identifiably involved in the event that would motivate them to move. Covertly stealing their property. The target moves as a result of the target wanting to protect their property. That ties them up in the business of moving. These are the schemes of gang stalking. As soon as I started making these videos, these assholes 100 feet away stopped talking. The other day I was watching a video on the internet. At least 2 separate individuals that were being targeted from Virginia, but they were being covered on the news in Pennsylvania. One of the women stated in this news coverage broadcast that the perpetrators leave electronic voicemails on her cell phone to repeat things that she did in the privacy of her home. Now, if you go to Google and type in the direct conversation method of gang stalking, you'll see that they get around the targeted individual and repeat personal information about the target concerning anything a target did on their cell phone, their landline phone, or on their computer, or anything they might have did physically in their home. You can go to YouTube right now and just type in cell phone hacking and see how that's been covered by 2 women were covered on a morning show. You'll see it. Trust me, you'll see it. And you'll see that a mother is saying about how her daughter's cell phone was hacked, and they were using the cell phone as a camera and as a microphone in order for the individuals who hacked into it to monitor what they were doing in their home, and then leaving electronic voicemails on the same phone to regurgitate what was observed as a result of the cell phone being hacked. That's right. Now, you can go to Google right now and type in hidden microphones, hidden tape recorders, hacking into a target's cell phone, using it as a microphone, a camera, and even as a GPS locator. So, I get out my video camera to make a video file, and I'm talking, obviously, in the video file, okay? And then all of a sudden, they stop talking. I got a tape recorder running right now as I'm speaking, okay? This is the microphone attached to it, and the actual tape recorder is right here. And before I started making this video file, this audio file was running, because I was making personal statements in it. And right before I started making this video file, I stated, okay, I'm getting ready to make a video file. And as soon as I started making this video file, they shut up. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is Jesse Williams. Extensively researched these criminalities in reference to each descriptions I've stated, in reference to gang stalking and organized stalking, in reference to their methodologies, their tactics, methods, what they do to a target, why they do it. I'm a human trafficking target. And I do not know these people at all whatsoever. Okay? They create the homelessness of women and even young men, because there's a lot of homosexuals in these prostitution rings. And what they're doing is they're creating homelessness by getting landlords and property owners on board, by getting postal employees on board to steal and or delay the run of a target. They gang stalk targets to their apartment buildings. They'll go as far as even gaining access to neighbors' homes and even fellow tenants' apartments that are above, below, or next to a target, in order for them to be able to harass a target on the other side of the wall of the apartment building. Just Google it and you'll see I'm telling you the truth. Go to Google right now and type in organized stalking or gang stalking and renting apartments next to targets. They'll gang stalk a target to a motel room. If they'll go through all this, do you honestly think that they will not gang stalk a target to a hiking area? Okay? Now remember what I played at the beginning of this video file. 2 individuals on a sidewalk not even 2 weeks ago saying gang stalk, gang stalking, and gang of stalking, I'm going to F you up. How far away did that happen from this area? How far? And was one of the individuals that played a role in it, has that person harassed me on anywhere between 8 and 11 separate occasions? And is that person directly connected to GILL, I'm a woman not a man, HA location? Code word for it. You better believe he is. They'll lie about it up and down the road. They'll call me crazy or drunk concerning it. Because labeling a target as being mentally ill, a threat to themselves or others, involved in illegal activity, or can't take care of themselves, are the type of labels that they put on gang stalking targets. Okay? Because they believe that, in reference to like police reports, security guard reports, and incident reports and shit like that, because they want these, when they bring about an event towards a target, okay, it's designed to produce documentation. Police report, incident report, campus safety report, security guard report, like at a security guard from a business plaza. And then what they do is they count on this accumulated documentation over time. Then they will start petitioning the target in a county mental health or an area neighborhood hospital psychiatric floor after a staged event, which they blame the target on, including staging the witnesses. The police are called, they come out, hear the bullshit, it's a syndicated cop. He arrests the target and or petition the target in the county mental health. And that's done too for insurance fraud, and it's done too intentionally with complete malice of forethought and criminal intent to intentionally falsely diagnose the target with a mental disability, a mental illness. And then what they do over time is, once they believe they have enough accumulated documentation over time, they take all this accumulated documentation, stage a big event, with the target before a syndicated probate judge, and attempt to make the target a ward of the state to put them in a syndicated run organized crime group home, where their monthly checks are co-opted legally, where their insurance is exploited inside these homes, and where the target is sexually exploited inside these homes. It's racketeering, insurance fraud, and human trafficking. That's right. My name is Jesse Williams. I am a target victim and activist concerning the criminal expeditions of what is known as organized stalking. I experience harassment along all my routes every single day through clever, overt sensitization methods, and I am also subject to 2 staged events, which are called street theaters and gang stalking. These events occur at UCSD, Ross Grocery Store, CVS, North University San Diego Public Library, Transportation Services, the Law Library downtown. Everywhere I go, I am subject to overt harassment that is designed to blend in with the environment. That's right, the physical gestures, and then the individuals that get around me and say gang stalking. Most people who are just walking around paying attention to their own business and their own days don't even realize that it's being said around them towards me. How's a total innocent stranger who's just in the same environment I'm in supposed to know I'm being gang stalked? And how are they supposed to know that I'm being harassed in these ways when they don't even know that I'm being gang stalked? That's right. It's their way to let the targeted individual know they're being gang stalked by getting around them and constantly repeating gang stalking. It's why they're doing it. Okay? And that's done to mentally harass the target concerning the situation. Hang on a second. Okay? That's done to harass the target about the situation. It's done to remind them about it. That's right. It's done to make them feel victimized concerning it. let me just, in closing, let me just state it to you this way. Do you know what an episodic memory is? An episodic memory is a memory that is anchored in a person's mind from an event, an episode, okay? As a result of this memory being anchored, okay, like say if a person, let me give you an example of how they operate. And this example is actually on the internet. Go to Google and type in how they had this girl raped, and as they were raping her, they shoved a sock in her mouth. Then on the subsequent days, they got along all of her routes and threw socks along all of her routes, okay, to remind her about the rape. They even got the business community to walk up to her inside of a business like a Walmart to hand her a package of socks and would say to her, "Did you forget these socks?" Now let's look at that statement. Did you forget these socks? The socks was attached to a trauma, being shoved in her mouth as she's being raped. As a result of that trauma, a memory has been anchored. The socks to the rape. Okay, do you see what I'm saying? Now, in order to stimulate that memory, to play mental ping pong with her, okay, because whenever you're a victim of a traumatic event, as the event is occurring, your mind becomes disassociated. It's got to do with post-traumatic stress, okay? And so every time she was represented with the socks, the memory of the event, okay, is stimulated. It's called episodic memory. But the memory is anchored in a disassociated mindset. So every time whatever is brought about to remind her of the rape, the mind, whatever's brought about to remind her of it, the mind is then stimulated back into that disassociated mindset. Therefore, she's not consciously thinking, she's not critically thinking, her mind's being intentionally brought back to disassociation while being reminded of the trauma. Now, I want you to listen to this. Why is this person saying gang stalking as they're threatening me? Why? Because they want the word gang stalking to be associated with a traumatic event or an intimidating event. Just listen.
Alright, the following took place on Thanksgiving Day. One of the individuals involved in this event is directly connected to GILL ×2, I'm a woman, not a man, HA location, and this individual has been used on at least anywhere between 8 and 11 separate occasions concerning overt and at times direct harassment. Do you hear these guys say gang stalk together? One says gang stalking in the background, and then the other one says gang is stalking, I'm going to F you up.
Okay, now, that event took place on November 28, 2013. My name is Leslie Williams. On October 15, 2013, I called the San Diego Police Department and I told them that individuals are getting around me every single day saying gang stalking, and that I got over 800 audio files to prove it. I told him that the individuals at Jack in the Box were doing it, okay? Then they said, well, I tell you what we can do. Why don't we call a psychologist out to the scene for you? Really? Now, that occurred on Rosecrans Street and Nimitz Boulevard on October 15th, 2013. This event that you just heard occurred on Thanksgiving Day over 15 miles away from that Jack in the Box. So how crazy am I? Now, we can clearly see that the only thing that the San Diego police are doing is allowing this expedition to continue until it bears the fruit of the reason why I'm being gang stalked to begin with, the motivation. The aforementioned effects and results that they want to achieve, which are the accumulated police reports, incident reports, which are designed to put statements in it that we suspect this woman's delusional, crazy, because she's claiming she's being stalked by people she don't know and harassed in crazy ways. I told them, while I was in their presence on October 15, 2013, at a location that's over 16 miles away from where this Thanksgiving event occurred at, that you just heard, okay? And the only reason why it's only 16 miles is because if you take the interstate to get to it, if you take the routes I took to get to it, it's a lot more than 16 miles, because you can go to one place. If you go from point A to point B using a straight line, okay, it's a certain amount of miles. But if you have to take bus services to get to that place, those buses go out of the ways because they got different bus stops, because they go in different communities on the way to the place you're going to. So, in order for them to track me from La Jolla to that Jack-in-the-Box on that day, they had to stalk me a lot more than 15 miles. That's right. So, also that morning I made a video at this location stating, let's see if gang stalk is set around me along all my routes for that day, and it was said repeatedly, including at the Jack-in-the-Box. Now, so how crazy do you think I am? So why won't the San Diego police make a police report? Is this gross negligence of duty? Is this obstruction of justice? Are they just not doing it in order to buy time? So these further events can transpire, so more incident reports can be made as a result of staged events, so they can attempt to take this eventual syndicated probate control to further the criminalization and the motivation of the original reason why I was ticked. Of course. Look, all you got to do is use common sense. If you got undisputable evidence that you're a victim of this crime, and the police won't look at it, you got to think to yourself, why? Why? All you got to do is say to yourself, what? Why? Audio files do not lie, sweet peas. Okay? They do not lie. And as far as these little freaked out bums that they're using on a daily basis 100 feet away from me right now, they're nothing but neighborhood lowlifes who are probably being paid off with God only knows what. Again, I want you to listen to this in closing. I told that police officer on October 15, 2013 that individuals are getting along my routes on every single day and repeating gang stalking around me. This was caught 2 weeks later in an environment miles and miles away from that Jack-in-the-Box.
Alright, the following took place on Thanksgiving Day. One of the individuals involved in this event is directly connected to GILL ×2 I'm a woman, not a man, HA location, and this individual has been used on at least anywhere between 8 and 11 separate occasions concerning overt and at times direct harassment. Do you hear these guys say gang stalk together? One says gang stalking in the background, and then the other one says gang is stalking, I'm going to F you up.
Okay, so all you have to do is think to yourself, why won't the San Diego police listen to this evidence? Why? I gotta go, I gotta start my day. If anything occurs at this area, which I've already shown you that video picture right there of that dead tree, I showed you earlier in this video file, it will be directly connected to this organized stalking, gang stalking expedition, and I don't give two shits about who's involved, how they act, how they try to say that I'm acting. Okay, how much they deny it, how much they call me crazy. Understand this and be clear. These are the methods of these expeditions. The whole goal for them is to try and motivate the target or cause the target to move from place to place to place to place. And that's done to break the target down mentally, to cause the target to collapse mentally and physically as a result of not just the harassment the target experiences everywhere they go, which causes the body to react to it constantly, but it's also done to mentally make them collapse. Okay, because of the way the target is constantly subjected to the non-stop harassment every day. I got over 800 audio files of individuals getting around me and saying gang stalking everywhere I go. And that's not including the staged events, the staged overt threats, okay, and then the assaults. Go to YouTube and type in Learning Disabled Woman Brutally Assaulted on an MTS Bus. Alright, I gotta go. Thank you for listening, and have a nice day.